Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Cryptonomics. As always, this is brought to you by Witham. I am your host, Mark Eggerly, and please welcome to today's show our guest and my colleague, Rhett Crystal. Rhett is a lead consultant here at Witham in our advisory practice. And welcome to today's show, Rhett.
Thanks for having me, Mark. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. So the way I like to start off these episodes is give brief background on yourself.
Sure. Hey, everybody. My name is Rhett Crystal. As Mark said, I'm a lead consultant. I work in our advisory department within the OASIS section, which stands for Outsourced Accounting Systems and Services. So we basically offer tailored accounting solutions, a wide range of engagements from back office accounting to CFO support, transforming and streamlining accounting workflows. I primarily work within the digital asset space, a little bit of real estate, financial services, and we really look to help clients build a strong accounting and finance foundation that supports strategic growth.
One thing I always say is, right, we have three areas that we go to market in, right? Audit, tax, and advisory. And I always feel like advisory is your non-traditional accounting services, with the exception of probably Oasis, where you live on the day-to-day, where you have that CFO level service. You really get into the weeds with a lot of clients on their books and records. I think I'll kick it over to you to kind of lay out the foundation of this new offering that we have. Can you give our listeners a breakdown of what are we offering to our clients?
Sure. So we are releasing a new service called the Digital Currency Accounting and Tracking Service, DCATS for short. And so basically what we're including in that is automated cost basis tracking using several different methodologies, whether that's FIFO, LIFO, or specific ID, wallet and exchange integrations, transaction classification and categorization, audit-ready tax reports, and obviously strategic tax planning for gain loss harvesting.
Who is the target demographic of this service? Can you break that down for us?
Well, so the nice thing about crypto is anybody and everybody could own crypto. And this is obviously tailored to people who have a significant volume of transactions. So that can be retail investors, Web3 founders, high net worth individuals, crypto native businesses, DAOs, etc.
So I sign up for the service. I give all my wallets to you, Rhett, and I want you to organize and tell me what my basis is, what's my projected tax liability at the year end based on my sales and my transactions, what I'd be up against, because this could obviously help with tax planning, tax strategizing, but also just getting your house in order at the end of the day. I know where my accounts are. I can log into my exchanges, see what the value is, but I don't know soup to nuts how I got there, because I'm constantly trading and transacting and moving across wallets. So what would a client be expecting as a deliverable on this, right? If they sign up for this service, what are they getting?
So this can be a completely tailored solution. So I think at the minimum, we're talking annual for tax reporting purposes, but this can be a quarterly engagement, monthly, where we're providing, your monthly gains, fair market value, especially for crypto native businesses who are receiving payments in crypto or potentially transacting in crypto. I'm sure they want to regularly keep up with their balances and their activities, see how the market's doing, et cetera. It could even go more granular than that. It could even be weekly. So with that being said, we could also do dashboards, obviously reconciliations, ad hoc consulting around it. So it's definitely a tailor-made fit.
Yeah, and I think everyone is going to be a little unique in what they would want to get back, right? It's not just vanilla service, right? Because everyone has their own situation when it comes to digital assets. And like you mentioned, it's really going to be for those folks that have large volumes, right? Where it becomes a little bit messy or hairy to track.
For sure.
Not just, here's my once a month transaction. I could probably do that in Microsoft Excel. It's pretty
exactly.
simple.
And as you know, I've done several of these in Excel. So like you said, a few transactions a month is easy to track. It really gets messy when you have 10, 15 wallets and a lot of different transferring in and out. And then at that point, tracking your basis becomes very difficult. So that's where this solution comes into play, where it's automated and we can track all the movement and not have to worry about what your cost basis is. Since the government's getting rid of the universal wallet method for tracking, and now it's on a wallet by wallet basis, as well as the rollout of 1099 DA. It's very important to be tracking this. So here we come with the solution.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, we didn't really dive into how we got here or why we got here, right? Because we've been doing it so manually in Excel. And I know there's been softwares for a couple of years now, but there's not one software that's the end all be all solution. So there are certain nuances to figure out which one would be the right fit for you as a client. or me, right? As this new offering is to really kind of gather those folks together under one umbrella. And here is what you're going to need, especially with the new requirements that are coming out next year, getting out in front of that now as we are in Q4 in 2025 to figure out what that's going to look like, how to properly plan out your future operations, your future transactions, right? Because I think trying to shift away from that Excel, figuring out formulas, there's so much room for human error and just slip ups, fat fingers, things like that, where we need to start to avoid that and automate the process as best as we can.
And that's, just the way the world's going is automating processes, looking to streamline beyond crypto, but especially in this industry. I mean, we're obviously looking to be the one-stop shop for digital asset compliance consulting. So with that being said, this will streamline our services that we offer our clients and just make us more trusted advisors, moving forward.
Yep. Now the overarching question, right? I'm sure everyone that's listening is thinking this. For those that have large transactions, why with them?
Sure. So there's obviously a few layers to that. So some of those solutions like a coin tracker, while a good solution for basic tracking, it's not going to pick up everything. So we're talking like DeFi protocols, staking rewards, potentially DAO treasury management, as well as the audit readiness and strategic tax planning. We've had some clients use those and we've seen a few gaps. So we think that our solution will be able to alleviate those concerns. And then as far as why with them, obviously CPA-level oversight. We can tailor custom advisory services to you. Real human support. So you pick up the phone, give me a call rather than asking some chat box. And then we can offer in tax services and other services that our firm offers.
And we're going to have a lot of content coming out on this topic, as well as the regulations continue to evolve, especially as we said, going into 2026 with the new reporting requirements. Rhett, anything I missed? Anything that you want to kind of share with our audience?
People keep saying crypto's coming, but it's not coming. It's here. So it's very important to, get ahead of all of these regulation changes and come speak to Witham,
With that is a perfect way to end it. Like Rhett mentioned, we go to market in all these strategies, right? So working with us on this roll up, on this functionality to aggregate your transaction data, get certain KPIs and dashboards. Our tax team knows how to use that to report in your returns and more importantly, knows how to strategize and plan for this. Check out our landing page at witham.com on the digital currency and blockchain technology page. It was a pleasure catching up today. I appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, Mark. Really appreciate you having me.
Awesome. And with that, we wrap up another episode of Cryptonomics.